Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out AmItheA whole. Story 1. AITA for disposing of my brother's bed-bug-infected mattress without his permission. My 24M brother, 26M, and I share a flat. He recently woke up with bed bug bites and we noticed his mattress was infested. My immediate reaction was to tell him to throw out or burn his mattress, but he didn't want that because it was a relatively new mattress and somewhat expensive. He was about to spend a month abroad, so he sprayed his mattress and just left his bedroom closed before he departed. I told him before he left for the airport that I'd get rid of the mattress if I found more bed bugs around the house. He said fine, but for me to check with him first. Well, yesterday I found a bed bug on my backpack, so my first reaction was to text him to let him know I would be getting rid of his mattress immediately. I didn't wait for his response because I had little time to make the arrangements before I had to leave for work. When he saw my text, because of the time zone, it was too late. The mattress was gone. Now he's pissed because I didn't wait for his go-ahead to dispose of his property. He says there were other alternatives I could have tried before. He's even saying it's up to me to buy him a new mattress, and I made it clear that's not going to happen. AITA. Edit. Obviously there's a typo in the title, I meant bed bug, not bed bud lol. Story 2. AITA for not letting my friend cheat on a test. AITA for not letting my friend cheat on a test? So I've been friends with this girl since childhood, our parents were also close friends, but we weren't seeing each other frequently in the past. We just lived on our own but kept a close relationship, every time we met up. Now I'm a senior in high school and in my country we have this exams at the end of the year and that's what's getting you in the university. So we started tutoring in one subject together, that subject is foreign language. She speaks that language very good, I'm not saying fluent because she is not, it's just enough for the exam. Basically she has changed so much since past. She started smoking, not only cigs, weed too. Now, I'm not the type of person to judge someone by the choices of their lives, but when that affects me I protect my peace. We've had few encounters of her being high off her ass on the lessons and forced me to write the exam imitations for her. I have agreed just because I thought it was a 1 or 2 times thing, but no, she was doing that for 4 weeks in a row. On the 4th week I confronted her, and told her if she keeps doing that I wouldn't help her. I mean there's nothing bad for me, I am writing what I know, but she won't have me, or anyone on the exam. What will she do? Plus one time she claimed that, whatever she rewrote from my test, was hers, and that she finished it first. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't have a fetish on being the first to finish the assignment, but from where do you get a nerve to claim my work as yours, in front of my face? Back to confrontation, after I told her that I wouldn't help her anymore, she agreed and said she wouldn't do it again, she just had a hard period in life. I understood her and told her if she needed to talk I'd be more than happy to listen, but taking advantage of me and my work was unacceptable and I wouldn't let her continue to feed my teacher lies off of me. After that day it went normal, she came sober and worked on her own. But one time she came on some kind of different substance. I didn't say anything cause I thought it was a one-time thing again, and it was. But yesterday we had a big test in grammar and she showed up high on weed again. I told her I was angry, but I let her write a few exercises. Not today, but other days she acted like I was a bad person for not helping her lie and cheat, due to her irresponsibility. So, AITA. P.S. Sorry if there are any mistakes, English is not my first language and also I have this problem of getting to the point, but this time I promise, I couldn't tell otherwise, the details were important. Story 3. AITA for not wanting to travel out of state for my company's annual retreat. I am an executive assistant. I just started a new role supporting the CEO of a company. My role is 100% remote and I work from home. I don't want to get into too many details, but so far the role is not exactly as it was described to me. For example, I was told that I would have health insurance, but suddenly now I'm not going to get health insurance until after 90 days of employment. But the reason I'm posting here is because of something more concerning. I've been asked to travel to a different state, the state that the CEO lives in, for a 3-day retreat. It's a very small company, so there will only be 3 of us total on the retreat. Myself, the CEO, and 1 other employee. I thought that this retreat was going to consist of team building and professional exercises. Instead, I just found out today that the 3 of us will be staying in an Airbnb together for the entire day of the 3 days. We are not going to be leaving the Airbnb at all. Maybe this is just me, but this makes me anxious and stresses me out. I knew that I would have to travel occasionally for this role, but I thought it was going to be for work purposes. The retreat is just consisting of us getting to know each other, watching a movie, playing board games, etc. Maybe I'm just an anxious person, but I feel uncomfortable being trapped in a house without my own form of transportation with 2 people don't even know. The worst part is that I have to go grocery shopping, create a menu of meals for their approval, and prepare every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the CEO and the other employee. They are not going to assist me or contribute with cooking or cleaning at all. I understand that I am their assistant, but it rubs me the wrong way, and feels very strange. Why am I being flown to another state just to play chef? I find it demeaning. Am I overreacting? Please advise, sad face. Story 4. AITA for telling my 22F friend, 23F, I do not want to hear her speak about her crush anymore. I, 22F, introduced my friend, 23F, to my boyfriend at the time's best friend about 3 weeks ago. They really hit it off and I was really happy for them. We were going on double dates all the time together and all in all it was a great dynamic for the 4 of us. However, me and my boyfriend broke up a week ago and are no longer in contact. It's been a bit hard for me but I am trying to move on. What makes it the hardest is she keeps talking to me about his friend I introduced her to, which is just making the moving on process difficult. She texts me every time before going over to his house. Him and my ex are roommates, and she'll give me updates, which I don't ask for, about what my ex is doing. __isn't home __ just got back home at 12 am __ went out to a bar. She's also being invited out to group activities with him and my ex and their group of friends, which I obviously can no longer attend and it sucks. Even when we discuss plans of our own, she will mention that she's going to go to my ex and his friend's house after we get finished. I am happy for her, and I told her that I do not mind if she continues to see him. I guess it's just getting to me a bit because I am constantly hearing about it and it's making it difficult for me to move on and forget about my ex. I am also feeling slightly left out because these are things that I used to do with all of them and now that's no longer the case. I know she isn't doing this on purpose to hurt me and I don't want to seem upset or cause any issues, but I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. I really am happy that she's happy, but it's also hurting me. I guess it's just a bittersweet situation. So my question is, AITA, if I tell her I don't want to hear about her crush anymore? Or should I just suck it up and act like I'm completely okay with it? I don't want to dampen her mood. I know how exciting the honeymoon stage can be, but at the same time it's a really shitty position for me to be in. I have asked a few of my friends and they said that I should just suck it up or I will come across as a bitter asshole and will ruin her happiness and even possibly my friendship. AITA? Story 5. AITA for telling Mill I don't want to hear about Sil problems anymore. This week we had dinner with my in-laws. We have a good relationship with them and an okay one with my husband's siblings, but things have been a bit strained with my sister-in-law. She's had health issues related to chemical sensitivities and her mental health for a number of years, but the starting point was when we got married. In 2021, after a number of rescheduled dates and after moving our date a third time, our area had a vaccine mandate in place that prevented her from coming. I was able to work with the venue to let her attend some aspects, getting ready in the hotel room and the ceremony, but a friend of over 30 years with a newborn asked that given the exception she test before and my Sil is unhappy I didn't take her side. She refused to test and the friend didn't come. Since then relationships have been strained, so maybe that is informing my response as well, but since then their family has also struggled financially and with an overwhelmed schedule. I know this because I hear about it every time we see my in-laws and Sil. Things have gotten a bit better financial, she hasn't worked for some time but husband was promoted and she's starting an at-home business. Hearing about their financial strain got so bad that last year Mill was evening criticizing our spending. She said my husband spent too much on dry cleaning and we should instead give that money to her for my nieces and nephews. That brings us to this week where we learn Sil just got a brand new puppy, their second in 2 years along with cats during the pandemic. I was frustrated not only to learn about the financial choice but also given what we hear about their schedule. Just the week before my in-laws had their older dog because Sile's husband was traveling and life was so busy for them. My in-laws also often complain about how tired they are. I shouldn't care because it's not my life, but is it unfair of me to request not to have to listen to the complaining now? Story 6. AITA for reposing a gift I gave my ex last Christmas. Story 7. AITA for backchatting my manager in front of a parent. Okay, so background, I, F21, work in childcare for a nursery that's owned by my mum, F52. A few days ago a parent came to pick their child up. This parent suspects that her son may be autistic and is currently going through the process of getting him help but has been denied it due to authorities believing he has no issues. She's talking to my mum, nursery manager, about how messed up the system is that she's unable to get him help and that the people who have denied the help shouldn't have even spoken to us as a setting because we aren't trained to know what we are talking about. Apparently a very frustrating comment but not the real issue. Me and my mum are both chatting to her and my mum says well I picked up on traits of autism for my name and points to me talking about how she didn't notice until I was 11 and all this rubbish. I've never been diagnosed with autism or even had any tests done and she's mentioned it a few times at home before but I have always just brushed her off because I didn't think it was worth the argument and if she really thought I was autistic then why didn't she get me tested for it? I personally don't see any autistic traits in myself but that's besides the point. I immediately said but I'm not autistic and my mum laughs and says sure you're not and carries on the conversation with the parent. Later on she pulls me into her office and tells me I was disrespectful in front of a parent and that I shouldn't speak to her that way in general and especially not make her seem stupid in front of a parent. I don't understand what I've done wrong here. I feel like I was the one who was belittled and disrespected, not her. I'm upset because firstly even if I was autistic it's not her place to go round telling people, especially not parents whose children I look after on a daily basis at work. Like this is my professional environment, they don't need to know ins and outs of my personal life. And secondly I'm not autistic and have had no tests done whatsoever, so going round telling people that I am is hurtful. It's not something that should be shown off and I feel like she's trying to get credit for knowing what she's talking about because she has an autistic child when she doesn't. I also feel like it's so disrespectful to people who are actually autistic just throwing that term around like it's nothing at all. Half of me also feels like I'm being a bit dramatic about and it's going to affect my work life negatively, but I'm hurt that she thinks it's okay to say it, especially when I'm standing right next to her. So AITA? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.